Oh my God, Jason Blaha is back again talking about the fitness world, bro. He just popped this this video. I just saw it like 27 minutes ago. I am uploading a video right now as we speak. My God. Anyways, I'm gonna have to react to this video too by Jason Blaha. Well, he must be really desperate for money. Anyway, I'm gonna react to the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Jason Blaha, the bomba clot of the fitness industry himself, Jason Blaha. So Blaha says current bodybuilding standards are not attractive or aesthetic to most people. Their bodybuilding is not about aesthetics. It's not. You're talking about people taking cosmetics called steroids. But if you look aesthetic, because if you have low body fat, you're going to look aesthetic. Kind of obvious if you have low body fat. And most young people that I know, they have low body fat, as long as they're not eating like crap and trying to get fat. But yeah, and they lift weights, they kind of look aesthetic. Yes, providing they do specific things and they are building muscle. I don't know what they're doing there.
Something that we have to talk about a little bit here in the fitness world is that to the average person, bodybuilding does not appeal to them, at least what we think of as hardcore.
What? Bodybuilding does apply to them. What are you talking about? Did he just not say this in the last video? My God.
For bodybuilding. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys.
It does appeal to real bodybuilding. Appeals to really intelligent people that are out there, not fake bodybuilding. That isn't bodybuilding. Bodybuilding isn't a guy going on a stage. Bodybuilding, it compromises your sport of performance, and it's a carryover to every sport. It is based on building more myofibrillar growth. You understand me? Enhancing your performance and your strength and everything else. So I don't know what Blaha is talking about.
Yeah, I was a little bit about this today. And what I'm saying here, I think particularly about...
Listen to me. Myofibrillar growth, building muscle, enhances your performance and strength. You understand me? Both, eccentrically, concentrically.
In terms of muscle mass sometimes, and more importantly in terms of body fat. You get a lot of guys, they don't seem to grasp this for some reason. They jump into the fitness world, they get too far in, and they think that if they want to...
Bodybuilding is going to be superior to strongman and powerlifting. Why? Why would bodybuilding be superior to these two sports? Because they're sports. You understand me? They're a sport. Now, bodybuilding, is it a sport? No. How can it be a sport if it compromises sport of performance? Remember, we are lifting concentrically in bodybuilding, but we emphasize the eccentric because that's where we build our bodies big and strong. That's where we enhance ourselves naturally in the natural world. How do you enhance yourself naturally in the natural world? Easy, going with gravity, eccentric overload, exercises, get it? Lifting, overload, building more myofibrillar growth, damaging, repairing, remodeling. Yeah, that's where it all comes from. Getting more nuclei and a bunch of stuff, okay? New fibers, yada, yada.
Attract women, they have to look like their favorite influencer.
Attracting women. You have to look like your favorite influencer. If you want to attract women, then you're going to have to work on your face, because bodybuilding and powerlifting and these sports over here, whatever, strongman, they don't weightlifting, they don't improve your face. They don't improve your face. Dieting, keeping a low body fat, eating natural food will improve your face.
Yes, Photoshop and lighting.
But yeah, I could say probably eccentric exercise may play a role in the way your face looks. Yeah, it could play a role because it's regenerative. That's why. And providing you're eating a natural diet, of course, not fake food like Blaha.
In a perfect environment. And let's be realistic here. I have had friends who, when their contest lean gets put up online, I have seen attractive women respond, "That's gross, that's too much." Okay.
You want to know why? It's just like men when they walk down the street and they see women with all these cosmetics on their face. They try to make themselves look pretty, but it's artificial, it's fake. and you'll hear men, I like natural looking women. She looks fake. She looks gross, or they're Botoxed. You can hear them on the internet, on YouTube. I see the comment section. They go, "Oh my God, if she got her lips any more Botoxed, my God, Botox." They comment right away if the lips are too Botoxed or the face has been Botoxed or something. To them, it's gross. Why? Because it's artificial. It's fake. See what I mean? Some people find that look, this bodybuilding look of today. That's why they say they had a more aesthetic look back in the day. These so-called golden fake drug bodybuilders in the golden era of drugs. So the golden era of drugs now are what? The bad era of drugs, because now they're using all these other weird drugs, and so they look the monstrous. They look terrible. You see what I mean? The look has changed. They were going for a better look back then using the drugs, but the drugs today, if you look at these people on stage, they look horrible. That's why they had to create classic physique. They created that in that drug genre because, man, they were screaming for it because these so-called fake bodybuilders on drugs, the open bodybuilding class, they look nasty. They look gross.
Let me state that.
Ready to invest in NVIDIA?
So for the guys who are thinking, oh man, I've got to have a certain look, it's like, no, dude. And I'm not telling you the dad bod. I don't actually buy into that attractive women.
I'll tell you this much to all of you. Women are attracted to big, strong men, but that natural, big, strong look. They are not attracted to these steroid people. It's bullshit. If they're going with them, it's probably because money or something or whatever. They're hanging out. But a real woman, like a real good woman, if you are a real good one, like you can find shitty women everywhere that will go with somebody. But a real good one, she'll go with you if you're a natural person, not all drugged up and all this kind of weird stuff. See what I mean? You just need to emphasize and discover what will build your body naturally. A lot of people don't know because the fitness industry keeps that from them. They don't want you to know what real bodybuilding is and how to build your body naturally, because that is the cream of the crop. The bodybuilding part of all of this stuff that they do, the strongman, between strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting, bodybuilding is the center of all of that. Want to know why? Because everything stems from real bodybuilding, but they don't want to tell you how to commence real bodybuilding. See, that's the thing. They don't want you to know because they need you coming back as a client. They need you as a client forever, so they can sell you more plans, more powders and foods and weird things and meal plans, cookbooks, and a bunch of weird stuff, and keep you watching their videos and a bunch of weird things. So you're in perpetual failure all the time watching these people.
Women want the full dad bod either. That's not what I'm saying. It's usually insecure women who might want the more dad bod in some cases, but it's not.
An insecure woman would want a dad bod. It's not an insecure woman. It's an unattractive woman that can't get an attractive guy. That's what.
Always universally true. But what I am saying, this super shredded that guys think they need to be to attract women, or for a woman to say, wow, you have a smoking hot body.
Look, I posted like 1 or 2 videos of what I looked like in the summertime. I was eating at the buffet, just meat. I look very dry after in my posing in my videos. There's some of them are they're in the short videos. I showed myself later. I look totally different when I just kept eating meat throughout the summer, just like piled it on. See what I mean? It made me lean. The more meat I ate, I got lean. I just went to the gym to pose in the window to make in the mirror just to make a video, and then I left. And then I went to eat at the buffet. I didn't even lift in the gym at that time, the whole summer, because I was trying to get rid of my nerve damage. That was another thing too, eating all that meat. You've seen my eating videos, bro. I post them all the time. Come on.
Not true. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. Most women don't want you to have striated glutes. They don't want veins in your abs. I'm not saying some won't want it. Most of them aren't. Do you want to know what they're looking for? In terms of body fat, if you want to start getting the attention of particularly, say, attractive women, you just need a flat stomach. Like straight up. As long as you don't have any belly, you're already into that range to where a lot of women are going to be like, okay, there we go. Now, when you start getting into having a bit of ab and some six-pack, you may do a little better. Okay? Not going to always be dramatically better, but you're still well into mainstream appeal and probably slightly more appealing. So if you start kind of looking at what is attractive there visually to most people, and when I say the average person, I don't mean the average necessarily overweight, out of shape person. I'm talking, to average to above average attractiveness women, for example. And the same thing, even if you're into dudes, right? The same thing. Yes, having a little bit of ab will help you, but a flat stomach alone goes a long way. Having a little muscle goes a long way. And a lot of guys are like, well, a lot of people like the swimmer build. They do. And there's a point where your muscle starts to weigh against you.
They like the swimmer build. Yeah, slim, muscular man is looking good, natural. They like natural men. They do. They definitely do.
Also, but most people are never going to reach that level of muscle. Okay, in other words,
yes, I did. I don't know what Blaha's talking about.
I'm going to be straight up honest with you. If you don't use steroids, you have zero possibility. There is no
See? There is no possibility. There's zero possibility if you don't use steroids to do what?
Possibility whatsoever, no matter how much muscle you try to gain, that it's going to be too much for mainstream.
Then it's going to be too much. There's no much muscle you could gain. That didn't make any sense, but whatever. Blah tries to convince you that you need steroids to build muscles. You'll never build muscles without steroids. So why does he keep telling you you're building muscles, lifting these crazy weights in his garage, doing all these weird lifting, whatever slave lifts that he does, concentric lifts?
It is pretty, for what we would call the mainstream attractiveness.
Okay.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it's impossible.
Look, even I'm not stupid, man. I know if I have my hair done in a certain way, everybody tells me they like me better with short hair. It's kind of obvious, If it's too long and messy and they're not fixing it properly, yes, it's going to look terrible. So I look better with short hair only because the long hair, people don't know how to layer it properly when I go to cut it. So then I just cut it short again, and then I grow it out and it looks layered. But after a while, it starts to get straight. They don't want to cut it. So I have to recut it short again. So that's why people tell me, well, you look better with short hair. Well, I look good with long hair too, providing it's layered. Okay, your face, you're going to look better when you're not eating all these like pizza and ice creams and sugar and all this weird food. See what I mean? When you eat garbage, fake food and fruits and vegetables, all these weird things, your face is going to look terrible. So is your skin. So I suggest you start using beef tallow on your skin. Beef tallow is great for your skin. Moisturize your skin before you go to sleep with beef tallow. See what I mean? Put some on and that's it. And just keep doing that. When you go out in the sun, use beef tallow. It's going to help you a lot. And when you're done going in the sun, reapply the beef tallow at night. After you've been out in the sun or something, I don't know, tanning or whatever you're doing there. And eat animal products and eat seafood. Eat seafood, animal products, and drink mineralized water. Do not drink tap water. See what I mean? If you don't have a chance to get well water from up north, like, real mineralized water, then buy it in the store if you have to. But stay away from tap water. It's disgusting. It's gross. And put filters in your kitchen everywhere, on the taps, everywhere, in your bathroom. Put a shower filter. I have a 20-layer filter in my shower. See what I mean? If I have to shower, it's a 20-layer filter in there. So there you go. And I have natural things that I can wash my body with. I go to buy them. I buy them at this place. They give you this natural stuff to wash your body with. And as far as deodorants, you can use salt rocks. Salt. If you need a deodorant, buy a salt rock. Use salt rocks. Do not use these products. They have chemicals in them. They're bad for you. Do you understand me? You got to protect yourself in this day and age, buddo.
To exceed that limit on 500 or less milligrams of gear. So 500 milligrams of testosterone or less a week, it is impossible to get so big that it's too much for mainstream attractiveness.
There you go. There you go. I don't know what that meant, but whatever. I don't need steroids to get big.
So natural is obvious.
Listen to me, your complex carbohydrate like potatoes will probably be your kind of like a steroid, because it's going to increase the insulin. It's not going to spike it, but it's going to get it to rise. And so it's anabolic. And so you're damaged. It's an anabolic hormone, bro, get it? And because you're in a positive nitrogen balance, you have you have converted the catabolic hormone to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor. That will also add to being stronger, more protein synthesis. It'll add to more force production in the gym. All these things, they accumulate, providing you do them properly. If you do them properly, then they'll work for you. But if you're not doing them all, if they're not all working together in unison, if one is off or one is messed up or something, then you won't accomplish your goal. You'll always be set back. You know, you'll be like really slow trying to get there. So you need to have all your soldiers lined up. Yeah.
Less than 500 milligrams. 0 is less than 500, so it falls within that category. But yeah, it's not really truly a concern. It really isn't. So I would say, gain as much muscle.
See, Blaha does nothing. He just does these exercises. They're exercise. He's adapted. He just does them over and over and over again. And then he gives you these speeches about stuff that just absolutely make no sense. On my channel, I don't talk about anything other than what? Eccentric exercise. Why? Because that's everything. And being in a positive nitrogen balance and eating natural food. That's it. I don't really talk too much about anything. I have talked about some supplements like Brewer's Yeast. I've talked about like peptide-free, peptide bond, amino acids, free-form peptide bonded amino acids, the tablets as opposed to like these capsules. I've talked about these things, you know. Yeah, I've talked about how creatine is used after damaging effects. Creatine has this thing where it can increase, satellite cells. They've done tests on it. Okay. Can you take creatine? I'm not saying you can't, but you get creatine anyways if you're eating beef. You're eating animal products, you're going to get creatine in there. Oh, people are going to say, well, you're not getting a lot. Okay, you can take a little bit here and there. You could buy some and take it right after your damaging sessions. But I recommend you do not take them after your damaging sessions, just during the damaging, during and right after your damaging session. But then the rest of the week you don't take it anymore. You just take it those days that you damaged your muscles. Okay, just like the free-form peptide bond amino acids, you just take them on those days. That's it. Now, as far as Brewer's Yeast, you can consistently keep taking it. The problem is there's a lot of gas there. It'll kind of bloat you. There's gas, It's a plant, dude. It has some oxalates in it. So it'll cause some inflammation.
You won't. And in some cases, there's going to be, degrees of change. Some people are not going to find as much muscle as attractive. Different people have different tastes. But if you're looking for a broad appeal to where your pictures online are going to get compliments, or you're shirtless at the beach or a pool party or whatever, and you're going to get compliments, you should probably focus on gaining quite a bit of muscle.
Yeah, you want compliments, then you definitely want low body fat. You'll get compliments. And you should build muscle, yes, eccentrically, yes.
Okay, you should focus on probably being body fat anywhere from about 10 to 18%. Okay, that is going to be your sweet spot for overall attractiveness to the general population. Again, I'm not talking the most out of shape obese. We're talking, relatively other attractive normal people. Okay, that's going to be your sweet spot. And in fact, I'll go so far as to say you're going to stand out. So if you have spent time in the gym gaining muscle, you're in that range, you're going to get...
yeah, man.
You're going to get attention. And again, gaining muscle, even being slightly gear big, is going to actually help you. A lot of that's still going to fall well within the mainstream attractiveness. It's when we start getting grotesque, okay? When you start getting really big, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. Okay. And again, I know that I look a little different here moving around these angles, but even some of the shirtless stuff I've done with some of my little photo shoots, those are unedited. That's just how I look when I'm laying down, chilling with good lighting. Those have gotten very, very positive responses, and then some people are not getting that. They're like, I don't understand. You're just not looking like the shredded bodybuilder, because people don't like that. And that's what the fitness world has lost sight of. When you guys are like, but I need to get completely shredded. Being anywhere near contest lean is not going to give you the most appeal. It's not. You're going to start losing more and more people who like it. In fact, it's going to work against you. I'm going to say your cutoff's about 10% body fat. Now, am I saying there aren't going to be people who say, wow, that looks good when you're really shredded? Sure, it's going to be a smaller percentage. So I can tell most of you right now that if you gain a certain amount of muscle and you're in about that 10 to 12% body fat range, more people are going to think that you look good than if you were to cut down to 7% with the same muscle. You're going to start getting people who say, no, it's too much. In fact, here's the thing. I've seen guys who weren't that big cut down too shredded and their pictures go up and they're like 165.
Have you seen I Am Longevity? He says around 3%. He can be like around 3% body fat. Have you seen what he looks like with low body fat? He looks scary, like he's 95 years old. See what I mean? You could definitely have an aesthetic look like I Am Longevity, low body fat. But do you want to look like him looking 95 at 60? See what I'm trying to explain to you? My goal is not to look 95 years old in my old age at 58. You understand me? My goal is not to look 95. My goal is to look like as if I'm in my 30s or a 30 at least, still like look young. That's my goal. I look in the mirror all the time. I have to try to figure out things. I did read science about these spheres because the bone structure changes in your face, and I've noticed that. So I keep thinking to myself, should I start moving for some eccentric exercises with my jaw? I've tried some before. So you get like, a bag or whatever, and you put it over your teeth, and in that bag, you can put some weights in there or something, and you just use your jaw. You use the weight to lower your jaw. You understand me? You use the weight, it'll lower your jaw. Hell, you can even do it in a gym you could do it with a cable machine. It would look probably odd. People might look at you. I don't know if they're there, if it's really busy, and they might catch you doing that. I don't know. You can bring like a strap with you, right? And you just tie it up to the hook, and then you put it on your teeth, and then you just keep lowering your jaw. You do the concentric part partially up, and then you keep lowering it. You know what I mean? To build up that bone area. Well, you get these crazy people that are like, they need to bash their bones in their face with a hammer. That is ridiculous. You don't do it like that, but whatever. Yeah, you can do your jaw can be done eccentrically too. Now, the one where people are chewing on sponges, they get a sponge or this plastic thing, and they just keep chewing on it, like pressing with their teeth. Well, that's concentric. You know what I mean? That's not gonna really build a muscle in your jaw. See what I mean? The first time it might work, but after that, it doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. So you're not gonna get anything doing that. That's not gonna change your face. These sponge balls, people and then they try to convince you they built their jaw there, the muscle or something got built doing that. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. They're taking drugs, they're doing something, or they got something inserted in there or injected in there like Botox or something. They went to some guy. You know what I mean? Today they have no lips. Tomorrow all of a sudden they're Botoxed. It's artificial.
Contest shredded. And it's the comments, that's too much, they're too big, it looks gross. Because they're associating a grotesqueness with that. Okay? In the fitness world, we have tried to project that being absolutely shredded has appeal. It doesn't.
Shredded has appeal in a young person, and they don't have a lot of muscle. They have some. See what I mean?
Having completely striated, veiny pecs doesn't have mainstream appeal. It just doesn't.
Okay, veiny, that looks kind of gross, yeah.
You are purely catering to a fitness audience at that point. You are now.
I'm thinking like 9% women are attracted to men with 9% body fat. Yeah, as long as you can see your abs, there's a little bit of ab there, something going on, something. You know what I mean? But as long as you're not obese and you're not over like, I think, I don't know, 20% body fat, they don't like that. And even 15 might not be very, very masculine either. When you're just eating meat, your body kind of sits at between, I would say 10 and 12. It just sits there between 10 and 12 body fat. You don't have to work at keeping that body fat low because you're just eating animal diet. And so it usually hovers around 10 and 12. Now, can you lower it to 8? Well, yeah, I guess 9 or 8 or something, you know what I mean? You could do that. You have to do what Blaha's doing. Exercise yourself to death, okay?
Catering to a niche community.
Niche
And so I'm
community.
saying that to all the people who let's say your goal is a physique. You're like, I want
That's not a niche community, man. It's a massive market. This whole aesthetic thing is a massive market.
a really good looking, attractive physique. Okay? You don't want to be completely shredded. So when people have that idea, that's what they think looks good or that's what looks aesthetic, it's not aesthetic in any classic sense.
Okay, say so.
So in the fitness world, people saw sebum, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's really aesthetic. But it's not. To everyone else, or even historic bodybuilding trends, that is not aesthetic. It falls into the category of looking grotesque and unaesthetic to
Okay.
people. Right? If you're looking for aesthetic, you're going to be looking at more of the golden era type bodybuilders to silver era bodybuilders. Those physiques are generally what most people are going to see, including women, and say that's like peak attractiveness and aesthetics in a physique. Okay? Right about there. All right, guys.
Again, it's artificial because they took drugs. So, yeah, I don't think they find that very attractive. They find natural men attractive, trust me. If you're naturally lean, and naturally built, they're going to be attracted to you. That's all. It's really simple. They're going to be more attracted to you because you're going to look natural. They'll know if you look fake. They'll know. That fake look is, people know the fake look. I'll see you in the next one. Think about that, like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one, friends.
But that's really all I have to say on that.
Thank God that's all he has to say.